216.
Why, hello, hashtag Verse TV family, and welcome. It's week 216. I'm Aaron Mack, and I'm here with my good friend Kevin, aka and CVC, Basic Complexity. And Kevin will actually take it away with our new number 216. And we're doing things a little bit differently now, because the old way of doing the numbers, it wasn't sustainable. Like every single number, like we have a brand new story, and then it got to the point that like every single number we like kind of repeat the old story. But anyway, we have something new, and it is coming from the random question generator. And with this being week 216, I'm going to randomly generate the question 2 times. If Kevin doesn't accept it, one more time. And if Kevin doesn't accept that, he'll have to accept 6 more times. So, Kevin, I'm going to press 2 times. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. And you can opt to answer the first one if you wish. But the first question is, what is your most thoughtful gift ever given?
The most thoughtful. Oh, wait. No, I know exactly what it is. And this being like 12 years ago. For my mom's mom, but I'm just gonna put this out there. For her 50th birthday, what I did, and I started saving up months in advance, I gave her a $500 gift card.
All right, Mr. Moneybags. I hear you. Yes.
It took me a while to save that up.
Nice. That's actually beautiful. At first, it was like, oh, you just gave her money, cool.
I
But
ain't got that like that.
with you talking about how you had to really save up for it, it's like, yes, saved up for her 50th. I'm 40 years old. Anyway, but yes, okay. And I'll take it away with my, or did you have more about that?
No.
I'll take it away with my relatively new song. Now, I spoke with you in advance, and your older song is going to be one of the newest of the older songs, and my song is just the opposite. It's one of the oldest of the new songs, and that it's none other than 2014's Diva, Ariana Grande's song featuring Zed, Break Free, which actually was a #1 dance track. Like I was talking to Alex about it this morning. And Alex was like, yeah, it actually was a #1 hit on the dance charts. And it's like, I actually love this song for many reasons, particularly how she is new millennial belting. Like, it seems like popular music nowadays, and I know I'm 40, but popular music nowadays won't allow people to like really just go through a formal bridge and belt their way through. But this song, like she had some real strong belting in it. I'm like, yes, particularly when she delivers the lines. Now that I've become who I really am. It's like, yes, Ariana Grande. And also another line, she's like, this is the part when I say I don't wanna. It's like, yes, Ariana Grande. Anyway, I love it. I'm gay. I love it. And I particularly love that it was a #1 hit on the dance charts because, us gays rule the dance charts. So thank you. And I will say. Oh, also, I use the song with my exercising at night when I go on my walks up and down the hall. Because I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying, and it looks like our friend Quincy Keith has said something. So, if you don't mind, Kevin, I'm going to put that on the screen right quick.
Before
First, he said, he named his most thoughtful gift, and my most thoughtful gift is the gift of life. I know that's right. We better talk about it. Yes. And Quincy left a comment on my most thoughtful gift I have given was a whole bedroom, a bedroom TV, game system, and I know that's right. Okay. All right. Yes, thoughtful gift. Yes, friend. Okay. Gave a whole bedroom set, like everything. Just gave it. Yes. All right, friend. Now, Kevin, Basic Complexity, your older-ish song.
yes, older ish song actually is from by Mariah Carey from her 2008 album E=MC Square. And the song is called Bye Bye. And it really stood out to me because the very first time I heard it was, well, unfortunately, at the funeral of a friend of mine. And she was like, what, 3 or 4 months younger than me. Um, but that was the first time I ever heard that song, and it's always stuck with me ever since then because her sister actually played the song at the act- wow, at the cemetery. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, because go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was kind of deep.
Tr- tr- oh, I think I might have said this before, so I won't belabor the point. But it's interesting that you connect with a deep Mariah Carey song and the passing of your friend, because for me, I also have a deep Mariah Carey song, her "Fly Like a Bird," and I connect that to my mom, and particularly when Mariah Carey belts the line talking about Carrie. See, it always almost makes me cry, but talking about "Carry Me Home," it's "Carry Me
Mhm.
Home," and it's like I I think about my mom being in another realm, blessed realm, peaceful. And it's like I told my mom that wherever you are, home is. And anyway, I hate to seem like I'm that guy that's like, yeah, you think you have a story? Well, I have a story. No, because Bye Bye is cool. Didn't Mariah Carey write that for her dad?
I'm not sure of.
You know what? Actually, she had a song called "Sunflowers" for Alfred Roy, and that
That
was for her
was
dad.
that was on a later album.
No, that was on E=MC Square because
It,
I remember where I
no,
had listened to it.
no, Sunflowers for Alfred Roy was not on E=MC Square. It was
Okay.
definitely on another album. For the life of me, I can't think of which one it was, but I was just looking at the track listing for equals MC Square, and it's not on that album.
Hmm. Well, let's make it do what it do, because I okay.
Like,
Well, it was something that, and maybe that was Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel. I guess I don't know,
could be, I don't know.
but yeah, you are right. It's not on E equals MC squared. Now let me look up Memoirs, because golly, it had to be around that time.
Yeah, it might have been.
But I guess I'm just all the way wrong because I don't see it on this either. Anyway, um, it is time. It is that time where we give a special thank you to everyone in the hashtag Burst TV family around the world, and we'll specify where some of those places are in the world. And thank you very much. Thank you. And oh, okay. So that's nice. That's okay. That's fine. But this will be right here. And United States, thank you. Singapore, thank you. Belgium, thank you. Germany, thank you. Egypt, thank you. Australia, thank you. Brazil, thank you. Japan, thank you. Everyone in the hashtag Burst TV family, thank you all so very much. Yes, you all, just thank you. Just thank you. Yes. All right. Now, I think, therefore I am. Oh yeah, Happy Pride. Oh my gosh, like we never said Happy Pride ever. Thank you. Okay.
That was months ago.
Well, definitely weeks ago, but this is the
Well,
end of Pride Month, so yes, we thank you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in my family were wishing each other Happy Pride, and I was like, oh yeah. Well, it wasn't an oh yeah situation because technically I had put it down in advance, but like that was an extra reminder. Like, Aaron, it's Pride. Like, I get the benefit of my birth month being Pride Month, my birth month, and Juneteenth. Like all of that, like it's so special. Yes, thank you. Anyway, okay, here we go. I'm gonna ask again. Basic Complexity, are you ready to get the show on the road for real? For real?
Yeah.
Hashtag gender debunk at Kevin Ortega Rojas, hashtag VerseTV216A.
There have been debates and protests from those who think that trans people shouldn't be able to compete in sports, and I finally understand their side. Here's why. This is Patricio Manuel. He is the first trans male boxer to compete in the US. Patricio just won his second fight this year and his third fight overall against a cisgender male opponent. He currently has a 3-0 winning streak and is ranked 99 in the US. So I get it now. Their fear about trans people in sports isn't about protecting cis women, and it's not about the idea that people assigned male at birth have an advantage. They are scared because trans people, specifically in sports, dismantle all of society's preconceived notions about gender, including the idea that cis-het men are innately stronger or better than anyone else.
Hashtag addendum at Professor_Neil, hashtag VerseTV216A+.
A woman attempting to compete with men? People don't get mad about that because they are never going to outcompete the men. Oh, how wrong you are. Because women have frequently outcompeted the men, and the men get very angry. The reason that figure skating is divided into men and women is because in the 1902 World Championships, a woman came in second place. The next year women were banned. Women had their own category in 1905. The reason that the Olympics has men and women's categories of skeet shooting is because a woman won the gold medal in 1992. It had to have been an open category up to that point. In 1996, the Atlanta Olympics, women were banned. And in 2000, men and women had their own categories. And maybe you're thinking those were flukes. Those were exceptions. But there are whole categories of sports where women are better than men. In ultramarathons of 200 miles or greater, for instance. Extreme endurance sports, period. And you don't know this because it makes us so mad, we pretend it just doesn't happen. A woman attempting to compete with men?
Okay, facts. And I actually did fact check what he was saying. Now, really quickly, Quincy, our friend Quincy Keith, commented, and he said, it was my Juneteenth before Pride. Yes, absolutely. And Juneteenth representing when our ancestors were officially free. And that's a thing we'll go into at, well, not go into at another point, but suffice it to say, boom. All right. Now, I am first with this one. So let me put my 3 minutes on the clock. So my initial reaction to this is, yes, I am a cisgendered and same gender loving male. Yes. And I also will take the time to call out the fact that patriarchy is a real thing, and patriarchy, it's like, honestly, as far as the addendum video, I didn't see that until like today, or I think it was, no, today. And I was like, oh my gosh, this has to be on, because one, he's my forehead brother, but two, it's like talking about, it's amazing how quickly like they change things. Like he was like, 1 year the woman won the gold, and the next year they were like, you know what, women can't compete, and then came back with, you know what, here's some men and women's categories, because you don't want to see women as more powerful than men. And that's why, you know, and I'll even skip that. But in my opinion, the whole complaining about women and trans men in sports, well, no, women and trans women in sports, I think that that's really just a scapegoat for the people like Patricio Manuel, because that's really what they're afraid of, because he's getting them in the boxing ring. And yes, Patricio Manuel, a trans man, i.e. was born a female, that means he wasn't born all weak and stuff, you know? But the perception is that women are just inherently weaker. And some women are weaker, some women are stronger. Some men are weaker, some men are stronger, you know? And I also speak to, I remember when I was a kid, and this was well before my whole MS situation, of course, you know, I was a very healthy kid, but when we would do those arm wrestling matches, like I would always lose to everybody. And I would lose to men, to women, well, boys and girls, period. And I remember one particular time I lost to a girl. Somebody like really rubbed it in my face, like, hi, you lost to a girl. And I was like, well, I mean, but yes, people, we need to understand that different people are on different levels, regardless of their chemistry downtown. You know, we need to understand and accept that basic complexity.
Mm-hmm. All right. After hearing this, I basically just found it hilarious. Just hilarious across the board. Um, in the long run, cisgender men were outperforming heterosexual men, and some heterosexuals got mad. And yeah, that was that.
Yeah, like Patricio Manuel being a trans man who outperformed cis men. It just goes to show. And our Quincy Keith also said, "Facts, Aaron." It's like, I know that's right. Yes. And it's unfortunate. And I'll take my 1 minute and say, yes, you know, different people are in different places. And I do believe, again, going back to the patriarchy, it's all about kind of controlling the woman and making sure that the woman is able to be subjugated and subject to the man. And different people have different things. Like there are some. Mhm. Fantasia talked about the neck, the woman being the neck. I acknowledge that as a same gender loving man, I feel like I'd be satisfied being, I'm the neck. I'm the neck. I'm a man and I'm cool being the neck for my man who's the head. You know, that's cool. And people need to get to the point that they understand different people have different roles. It's not a gender based thing. Different people have different things that they're better at. Let them be what they are, period. Gay, straight, strong, weak, whatever. Passive, aggressive. Let them be who they are. That's the answer, world. We need to let people be themselves. Anyway, my one sentence. Yeah, pretty much continuing that. We are all different and the same. Let's all love that because we're all human, so we're all the same and we're all unique. Let's love that. Let's love that fact. Period. Kevin, your 1 minute.
uh, um. All right. First off, nothing at all against heterosexual men. I have some heterosexual male friends, so yeah, and at least my heterosexual male friends are cool. They cool with that. They're cool with me being gay. Nothing don't work like that. But well, I believe I said it before, but yeah, there are definitely differences in everybody. Like you said, Aaron, some are strong, some are not. It's just what it is. Um, Now my sentence is like I said before, nothing against heterosexual men at all because some are some. keyboard some are cool. But in general, heterosexual men are not always the strongest or the best. That's just what it is.
Society wants us to believe that, but it's
And
very good to know that some of your best friends are black. I mean, some of your best friends are hetero. Let me stop. Oh my gosh, I'm kidding. Oh my gosh, but you did kind of word it like that. But anyway. So the question for the hashtag Verse TV family is, where do you conclude on the trans debate? Leave it in the question. Leave it in the comments. Talk to us. We're all over social media. Talk to us wherever you find us. Leave it in the comments. All right. Base complexity. Are you ready for the next topic?
yes, and well, that one is definitely me.
And you will be first.
Yeah.
Hashtag terraform it at J.R. Colbert, Neil deGrasse Tyson, hashtag VerseTV216B.
There are people who want to colonize other planets, give us an escape route. We trashed Earth. Let's move elsewhere and hope we don't trash that. Well, there aren't many places to move. Mars rotates once every 24 hours. That's kind of interesting. It's tipped on its axis, as Earth is, which means it has seasons. It has polar ice caps, the way we still do at this moment. And there's evidence of running water on its surface. So there's a chance we could terraform Mars, my favorite word of the past few decades. You turn something that's not like Earth into something that's like Earth. So then you just move there. So here's the catch. If you have the power of geoengineering to turn Mars into Earth, then you have the power of geoengineering to turn Earth back into Earth.
All right now. Basic complexity.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And, I still wait for just a minute. Alright, so I'm good now. Or at least personally, my biggest fear is that, yeah, definitely we've trashed Earth. That's a fact. My fear is that when we get to the point to start to colonize Mars, that we didn't learn our lesson and do the same thing there. And yeah, that's one of my biggest fears, because unfortunately, we've trashed this planet. So it's not like, hey, let's go trash another one. It don't work like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have, because like I said, it's definitely a fear of mine that we get to the point we go to Mars and do the same thing there that we're doing here. And the fear is just that we haven't learned our lesson. Because, this planet is about tapped out. That's what I have.
That's a very unfortunate thing that you're saying. Very true.
Yeah, it's sad because it is very true.
Yes. My response is, my initial reaction is, it's interesting how he talks about people using Mars as an escape, like an escape to Mars. And I'm
Right.
like, well, it's not going to be an escape for the poor. And there will also become a new social hierarchy for what's considered poor when you get there, because it's only going to be the wealthy. So there will be the wealthy who are wealthy on earth, but there'll be a new social hierarchy when you get there. So some poorer people, or people who have less, relatively speaking, will be the poor people on Mars. Anyway, it reminded me of one, for the wealthy, once you get like a certain amount of money, having more money it's just a game. It's a game. And I saw someone talk about that in my church. Um, it was a film that was being played, but yes, it's like, well, you already have $1 billion. Why do you need more? Because it's like a game to try to have more than the next person. And it made me think of years ago when I saw in the fledgling YouTube as social media days, I saw Paris Hilton in a video talking about Lindsay Lohan. And
Mm.
she's like, they caught her just saying to somebody else, because, cameras everywhere, how she's like, Lindsay Lohan, like, isn't she like poor? Like, doesn't she have a net worth of like only $400,000 or whatever? Ew, we don't deal with her. And it's like, wow, that's interesting, because that's how things would be on Mars. It's another level. Like, even people who are wealthy down here. But I'll also say, I wonder, it's like Mars is like Exurbia times a billion. Like there's the suburbs, then there are the exurbs, then there's Mars, which is like Exurbia times a billion. Because it's like you're saying you want to not only get away from the neighborhood, not only get away from the city, but get away from the state, the country, the planet. You're like, those people on that planet, the undesirables, us undesirables on Earth. And that's what it comes down to. And initially, I was wondering if when they make it to Mars, like, will they still care about Earth and making Earth better? But no, just like the flight to the suburbs, people don't give an F about life in the inner city once they make it to the suburbs. So once they make it to the Exurbia times a billion of Mars, they will not give an F about Earth. It's like, are they going to care about the inner city once they've made it to the suburbs? No. It'll just be one of those, oh, that's so unfortunate that they're like that. Oh, well, I'm glad I'm up here. Anyway, your 1 minute.
Oh yeah. Just that in general, sometimes you have to be willing to acknowledge your faults before you could learn anything from them. That's what I have.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, people just won't care. And as far as Earth, George Carlin, and I love me some George Carlin. George Carlin explained, he's like, the Earth isn't in peril. We're in peril. We're going away because the Earth has been here for millions of years. And what's going to happen is eventually the Earth will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. And we're just going to be gone. We're going away. That's how he delivered it. We're going away. Yes. And it's almost like the people going to Mars are like, yes, now I live in the beautiful one lake, one tree, 4 planets away from the sun neighborhood. Because it's going to be renamed. It has to be renamed. It can't just be Mars. Mars is so now it's going to be one lake, one tree, 4 planets away from the sun. That's where I live. It's beautiful. Anyway, my one sentence is, I wonder if X number of times, X number of millennia, people will destroy Mars, then come back to Earth, a healed Earth, then destroy Earth again, then return to a healed Mars, then destroy Mars again, and return to a healed. And I wonder if that's going to be the cycle that's repeated. And until an outside superpower says, you know what, stop, and just brings an end to humanity. You know, jump from planet to planet. Well, not planet to planet, because not every planet can sustain life, but jump from Earth to Mars, until a superior existence is like, you know what, humans, you're effing up. Stop. I'm done. Anyway, yeah, you did your 1 minute. So our hashtag Burst TV family question is question for the fam. Oh, really quick. Quincy Keith said the main told the facts. Fix the earth. Fix the earth. Right now, the earth. Yeah, he said right now the earth is ghetto. That's what it will be seen as. You know, all in spite of all of the beautiful neighborhoods that we have strewn throughout suburbia and exurbia, the earth is ghetto, and that's what it will be. It will be like, you know what? I live on one lake, one tree, 4 planets away from the sun. You live in the ghetto. Sorry. Anyway, all right, Quincy Keith, I know that's right, friend. All right. And the hashtag Verse TV family question is, if you had more than enough money for a great life, what would you need to move to a beautiful exurbia times a billion Mars? What would you need? All right. Base Complexity, are you ready for the next one that you will be first again?
Yeah.
Hashtag unmistakable softness at Herrera Images at Jake Shears. Hashtag VerseTV216C.
Cheers to growing up gay with a flaming capital G. To the limp wrists in our childhood photos. To telling on ourselves before we could talk. To tears streaked in playground dirt. To the bullies who told us what we were before we knew. To slurs we picked up, dusted off and made our own. To trying on our mother's heels. To their fear we'd die of AIDS. To the tender disappointment of our fathers, if we were lucky. To waiting for a same-sex kiss on TV, only to watch the camera pan away. To the girlfriends whose hearts we broke when our gaydar beeped for the first time. To our private, dirty humor, so acerbic it can melt chrome. To our cackle. To, is he, to that quality straight actors win Oscars for, but can never get quite right. To identifying one another in a packed subway and a dark park with a glance. To that swish, lisp, and contrapposto. Cheers to our unmistakable softness.
Beautiful. Basic Complexity.
All right. Yeah, with that, I would say, well, at least for me anyway, I could relate to some of it. Not all of it, but some stuff, yes. That was definitely my childhood. And I had grown to the point of starting to realize that I was gay really when I was a teenager. So I started my whole coming out process, started it, well, to myself first when I was 17. And yeah, then it just kind of ballooned from there. And that, there we go.
Playing from Fire Tablet.
Yeah, whatever. Um, so yeah, some of those things I definitely did experience as a kid. Not everything, actually, probably not the large majority of the stuff, but some of it, yes, I was able to relate to when I was, actually, I would say realistically when I was under 10. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have.
All right. And it looks like Quincy said, first and best that, okay, this is actually about the previous topic, but he said, first invest that money so I can leave money to my family, make that's accessible for me to live, and that's all. That money. Questions statement. All right. Cool beans. And my response to the topic. One, I say it's an absolutely beautiful poem, written and read beautifully. And okay. It's a beautiful poem, written and read beautifully. And I also say to that, and this kind of speaks to what you were saying, Kevin, people are people. And this also speaks to the trans thing. People are people. You know, being gay does not necessarily equal softer. No, you know, because people are people. Now, yes, I personally claim at 6'2", and I do currently use a walker, and was diagnosed with MS and whatever. And I weigh 167 pounds, and I try to go to the gym regularly. And with all of these things, I do see myself as like the softer partner. And kids used to call me gay before I even knew what gay was. And I get it. And for me, my softness was indeed unmistakable. But for hard rocks like you, Kevin, I guess not. No, I'm messing with you. But yes, like I remember one time when I was a kid in upstate New York, I had to take the trash out, and my mom's shoes were right next to the door. And I remember, and in my mind, I was like, okay, I need something on my feet to go take the trash out. So the shoes right here are convenient, whatever. And I remember my mom was like, Aaron, those are my, okay. Yep. Go ahead. And I was like, I don't understand why you're making a big deal. I'm just wearing your shoes, please. Well, I was like, okay. Anyway, it is what it is. My mom had hints from a very long time. As far as the girlfriend thing, I never had a girlfriend that I met in person, but that reminded me of when I was in high school. I did have a woman who developed, no, she called me as a wrong number. One day I kind of almost think it was a, not spam, but somebody prank calling, but it turned into being my girlfriend, because she was like, hey, Aaron, I'd like to be your girlfriend. But I was like, well, that's pretty cool, because that way the guys in school, the beautiful guys in school won't think that I'm gay because I have a girlfriend. Anyway, yeah, we're not there yet. But I will say that she had a particularly deep voice, and we never met in person. And I will finish this story in my 1 minute. Basic complexity.
And okay. I would say in general the well-known term has been around for ages. You live and you learn, and in this case, it kind of applies. Just you learn things going through life. So whatever your sexuality is, and personally, I don't care. But I know some do. But yeah, you live and you learn. I'm sorry, that's it.
All right. And Quincy left a message saying, and forgive me if it's just my vision. Well, I hate to say that. That's excuses. But what Quincy wrote down is, I explore what gay was. I knew that I was different, and my body told me to. I had experience with girls, but I knew that I was gay because of exploration. All right, Quincy, I hear you, friend. Yes. All right. My 1 minute is once in a lifetime. I will finish what I was saying. As far as the woman, the girl, she it was a wrong number allegedly, and we would talk a little bit regularly. I thought it was cute because I'm like, well, this is what the straight boys do at school, the gorgeous straight boys do at school. So now I too can do it. I too can have a girlfriend that I chit chat with, a girlfriend. And I remember one time, and I stressed it, that she had a very deep voice. Sometimes when women can sometimes have very deep voices. She had a particularly deep voice, and I remember one time she called. Back in the days before cell phones were universal, and she called the home phone. And I was like, okay, and I don't know if I picked up or my mom picked up. Even my mom picked up, and she was like, hi, and this was the thing too. I never met her in person. She never, we never met, period. And my mom picked up the phone and spoke with her, and she was like, hi, I I am unsure because, of course, being my mom, being mom of her only child, she is very protective. And she was like, you know, I don't know if I like you calling my son. I don't know if you're actually, and if you're a girl like you say you are, but I've never met you because I don't know if you're a girl like you claim to be, or if you're some old man trying to take advantage of my son. I don't like that. I don't like you calling my house and speaking with my son. And I was like, Mom, is that my girlfriend? No, what are you? And she's like, I do not want you to call this house again. And you know, she never called the house again. That was the end of it. Anyway, but I love my mom. She was very protective of her son. You know, like I don't know if you're some old man trying to take advantage of my son, but no, my mom was very diva, classically. Anyway, my one sentence is unmistakable softness is beautiful, very well written, and expressed. Yes. All right. You did your you did your one. So time for this topic, and I will be first for this. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right.
Hashtag blind color at Emmanuel Acho. Hashtag VerseTV216D.
As it pertains to seeing color, I think that's well intended, but I think it's ignorant. If you don't see color, then you don't see me. You don't see who I am. You don't see what makes me unique. You don't see what makes me beautiful. If Dave and I were to walk outside, hey Dave, you see that beautiful rainbow? No, Emmanuel, I don't see color. Like, imagine how ignorant that sounds. So it's not a matter of being absent of the sight of color, but be knowledgeable of the beauty of what that color pertains to and what that color has. Like, I want everybody to see color, but don't judge nor condemn me because of said color.
I think I have enough time to start off with the fact that yes, actually, no, I won't. I said I won't keep calling guys beautiful and all of that stuff. It just goes without saying. If it's a man, if he's a man, trust me, I find something beautiful about him. Anyway, but yes. So in response to what he actually said, I say yes, but it's tough. I wish that all humans were smart enough to form an opinion on every individual. But psychology explains that humans use stereotypes because the human brain is not able to form an opinion on every single individual person that they encounter. So, and I don't want to say that's a BS excuse. That's an unfortunate explanation. It is a BS excuse because we use such a small percentage of our brain. We could use a little bit more, but we don't. And I wish we would. My professor years ago said the same thing, acknowledge my cultural difference positively. Acknowledge the fact that we are different positively. Yes, that's a beautiful thing. Don't judge me negatively. And unfortunately, humans not being smart enough, to not use stereotypes, that's an excuse. And that's what I say. And I will take this to a topic that we've discussed a little bit about AI being a billion times smarter than us human beings. And perhaps AI will be able to take the time to form those opinions and about every individual person. Oh my gosh. And Mo Gaudat speaks to stuff like that. That would be a beautiful world. And we can and should, and maybe we can learn from the AI that you can take the time, use a little bit more of your brain, and take the time to form perspectives on every individual human. Maybe that will be a thing that we'll do. And some people do it now, not everybody. Let's see. Yes, let's see the beauty in our humanness, our diversity, and our sameness. We are one. We are all human. And we are all beautifully diverse. Basic complexity.
I I will say I could see when someone says that they definitely have the best of intentions, but at the same time they are kind of ignorant to what they're really saying. Like saying you don't see color could, unless you're color blind. And yes, I understand that does happen, or there are people like that, but it's such a small amount of people. Um, in general, people saying they don't see color, they're kind of ignorant to what they're saying. Like, you see color, you see differences between people. That's fine. Because yeah, I'm not gonna come out of my mouth make that ludicrous statement that I don't see color, because obviously yes I do. Now, do I judge people on their color? Absolutely not. That has never been how I operate or even how I was raised. So, yeah, I really think, like, when it comes down to it, things like that, it could honestly be a teachable lesson to anyone willing to listen. And that's what I have.
So, when you talk about colorblind, it's like, even if colorblind meant you saw the whole world in black and white, which is not, that's not what it is. But even if it meant that, if you were physically colorblind, you saw everything in black and white. Even in the old black and white movies, when you'd have a black actor on in a scene with a white actor, you'd be able to tell who was who. And what you're saying reminds me, years ago, when I was in elementary school in upstate New York, one of my classmates did the whole "I'm colorblind" thing, and he's like, and one of the kids was like, and I get it. People like doing things that sort of make them popular. And I'm just realizing that that's kind of what it was, because kids were talking to him and he was like, "Oh, you're colorblind?" It's like, "Yeah." "Oh, well, did you know that Aaron's black?" He's like, "I didn't know that Aaron was black." Wow. The only black kid in class. But again, going back to black and white, even colorblind seems some semblance of color. Anyway, my one sentence is, like 90s movie Independence Day showed, 90s movie Independence Day showed humans all uniting against alien invasion. We don't need that. We don't need an alien invasion. Let's use our brain and unite now. We are all one. We are all human. We are all beautifully diverse humans. It's complexity.
Um, sorry, just a second. Oh, yeah. Just in general, saying that some small things could be extremely small, but some small things could turn into teachable lessons. That's what I've.
Oh, right. Now, with Pride, and we don't have to market it this way, but we're doing a little different in that we're going to give you an extra video. We're not really going to comment on it, but it's just hilarious. So be sure to enjoy. And when we come back, we'll do our closing and we'll then come with the music. All right. But here's a little bonus video for y'all.
Hashtag Scream Girl at Matt McNish. Hashtag VerseTV216E.
Hello?
Hello. Would you like to play a game?
I thought I made it very clear on my Grindr profile that I'm not into games. I am into pit play, though. How about you?
I like scary movies. Do you like scary movies?
Of course. Samara from The Ring is iconic. What do you like?
I like the idea of seeing your insides.
Listen, that sounds hot, but I ate a big dinner tonight.
What?
I'm confused.
I just want to know who I'm looking at, Blondie.
How did you know that I dyed my hair blonde?
I can see you through your window.
So you like a show, huh?
What? No, pull your pants up. Good God.
Listen, dude, you're sending mixed messages.
I'm really not, though. I've made it very clear that I'm going to kill you.
I sent my location. The door's unlocked.
Good Lord, how are you ignoring so many red flags? Who raised you?
Look, we'll get into the daddy stuff once you come over, okay?
You know what? This is making me uncomfortable. I think I'm good.
Always talking a big game and no follow through.
Hilarious. Absolutely. And the comment underneath the video was something along the lines of the reason that scary villains will never catch gays. Anyway. All right. So this has been hashtag VerseTV week 216. I'm Aaron Mag. You can find hashtag VerseTV all over social media. Hashtag BERSTEAV. Also, if you wish, if you ever so desire, you can email me, AaronMack@versetv.com. AaronMack@BERSTEAV.com. And you can check us out on the website, www.versetv.com. Basic Complexity, where can we find you, friend?
Yes. I definitely, because I always forget stuff. I have definitely, and I trying to pull it up.
You know what? I can just give it for everyone. So, of course, your TikTok is at My Basic Complexity. And your Instagram is at Basic Complexity. And again, it's just 2 words, combine them together. And your email is basiccomplexity@verstv.com. BERSTEAV.com. All right. And Quincy said, it's the follow through for me. I know that's right, friend. He's talking. I think he's talking about the video, the scary movie guy. But yes. All right. So now let's move on to our music. Oh, you know what? Before we move on to the music, I have to insert a dog and pony show while I turn off YouTube so we don't get flagged.
Wow.
YouTube like, nah, B, nah, whoa. I remember in New Orleans when Wody was a term that we would use. Well, nah, Woody.
Oh,
Anyway, so here is, oh no, it looks like maybe that deleted Quincy. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, all right.